Hello, welcome back to the Real Music Talks. Today's guest is Let Swim Get Swimming, a band from Brighton, playing math rock. How are you guys doing?
Patrick, how are you?
Oh, I was going to offer you the lead on this one, but I'll take the reins. I'll take the reins. How am I doing? I'm doing great, thank you. It's lovely for you to be here, for you to have us. Situated from our offices, our bedrooms for now. It's really really good fun. Yeah, we're excited to actually talk about some of the stuff that we've got in the woodworks. Yeah.
Okay, let's go. So, like, how did you guys first form, like the band?
That'd be my space. That'd be my region of time.
Absolutely.
So we met. So originally, Patrick had nothing to do with this band, and it was me and two of really good people that I was with, called Andrew and William, two very lovely chaps who eventually didn't want to play math rock anymore, but luckily Patrick did. So we carried it on. Basically, I wrote some really cool music with Will and Stokoe, and decided that eventually, at their point in moments, they didn't like math rock anymore. And Will loves jazz, and now Stokoe loves jazz. Paddy loves jazz, but likes math rock still, so we're okay. And then that's really basically it. It's just the two of us now, doing what we do best.
Yeah, we went through the stages, didn't we? We lost. We had Stokoe for a bit, so it was we were a three-piece for a little bit. I took over from Will. Some hard boots to fill, I have to say. Like, absolutely phenomenal guitar player. And I remember, like, when I first got the question to go for an audition. I say it like this because there was only me auditioning, because it's this band. Anyway, I go for this audition, and they hand me this big tab book. And at this point, I'd never owned a guitar pedal. I'd never learned how to tap a guitar and all this crazy stuff. And I was like, oh, how do I do this? How do I make these sounds? Like, how do I do? I was reading this tab, and I was like, how do I go from 3rd fret to 12th fret? And I was trying all these like different techniques. And then someone was like, oh, you got a tap, and I was like, all right, cool. So went from there. Went to the first audition, played one song together, which we don't play anymore, called Hot Doggy.
Terrible song.
That was like the rest is history, isn't it? Really, I borrowed a pedal board for it as well, and obviously I now actually have like a.
What year was that? That was 2017.
2017, yeah, that was it.
Yeah. When Patrick was 16.
17. I was 17. Yeah.
I was 27.
So, like, how did the math rock and jazz kind of like play into each other? Like, obviously, you guys have got those two like influences. How did that kind of like meld happen?
It is. I would say it's quite literally two different parts. I'll play the rocky bits, and Patrick will play the jazzy bits.
Yeah,
I suck at jazz. Even I remember my first class at my music college, and they went, "You play rock jazz," because I suck at it. Honestly, I can't do that light delicacy. I haven't got it in me. I'm trying to get better at it every day for 6 minutes.
I'm a drummer too, and I can relate to that. That's the bit I've always struggled with jazz. I don't have a light touch whatsoever.
And then lucky Pad fucking loves. Am I allowed to swear on this thing? Sorry.
Yeah, of course.
Great. Loves jazz, that boy. So Pad. That's what Pad brings to Let's Swim stuff. Is the jazzier side of things. And actually, to be fair, the mathy side of things is normally an afterthought.
It comes in tandem, I think. Like, once a riff is written, we don't necessarily decide for it to be in a specific time signature or to have a specific mathy influence. I mean, they all are kind of derived from this, like, I mean, the one string notey, like mathy slides and all the tapping and all that stuff is all mathy. But sometimes, I'll bring a riff to the table and Tom will go, great. All right, that's in 4/4, mate. So pack it in, take away a beat, add a beat on. Or maybe add a doodle, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, right, how's this sounding? It'll be back and forth, and then, yeah.
So I was going to ask, it's like, is the odd time signatures and stuff, does that come naturally, or is that quite often like a deliberate choice, if that makes sense?
Definitely, I don't think it comes as naturally to me as it does to Pad. I don't think.
I was going to say the absolute opposite.
Really?
Yeah,
interesting.
God, we just love each other so much.
I think Paddy naturally writes in 4.
I do, yeah. But recently I've been writing in 7 naturally, which is really strange.
Well, this is news to me. You could have told me before I started to make a tit of myself. Normally, with 4/4 riff in, we don't. I love writing with Pad because we both take direction really easily. If one of us has an idea, it naturally clicks very quickly and we move on very fast.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not filling space for no reason. Naturally, we work really well together and always have done, actually. And so that mathy stuff, I think Patrick put it well, in tandem. So we normally have a riff, then play with it, then have a riff, then play with it. We don't like to repeat parts too often unless it's like distinctly a chorus or distinct.
Of course, yeah. If we want it to be memorable.
Mm.
But building on what Tom said, in regards to the like we work super well together writing all the stuff, but the great thing about working together is that neither of us are afraid at all to be like, you know what, that was absolutely shite, let's not do that, or like, let's take this out, let's put it here. You know, we're not afraid to speak up. And that's also great about being just two of us now. I mean, we've just got to argue with each other. There's no middle man anymore to diffuse it. So yeah,
it works in good way. It works in good. So there's zero egos here. Me and Pad like to work together. If somebody said it doesn't work, cool, it doesn't work.
We hate ourselves anyway.
1v1, like, this is a sick idea. No, it fucking sucks. There's no Andrew Stokoe anymore to be like, boys, split it up. Let's work on this together.
How do you kind of manage that? Because obviously, like, you can keep like I don't know, like you can become like too critical almost with art, especially, right? You can kind of like keep criticizing your art and think, oh, this could be better. So how do you kind of like come to that middle ground and say, right, this is how it's going to be and this is finished?
It's just paper, scissors, rock, mate.
I love the answer. So talking from like a different aspect though, how did you guys first get into music? So maybe like Tom, if you want to start.
Okay.
And then Patrick.
Let's call him Patrick.
I love being called Patrick. It's very formal, isn't it? I love it.
I won't bother like the beginning of music, but the intro to math rock, because it's kind of what we literally do. There was a guy who literally showed me a band called Colour at college when I was Patrick's age, 17 at the time. When he was 7, me Anthology by Colour, and that was it. I was ripped into it from the go. But I made a really distinct choice to not do anything until I'd met the right people to work with. So I actually didn't make a math rock band or join one for 8 years, even though it was like my prime choice of music. It was something I knew I wanted to go into, but I knew I didn't want to like write with either some flakes or some dudes that were going to pass it off in a few months' time. I wanted to make sure it was with the right people, the right time to do it, and it was going to stick quite a big part of my life. Because now I've been doing Let's Swim for like 5 years now. We're coming on to our 5th year. That's what I wanted math rock to be. I wanted it to be a staple part of my playing in my career. Now you.
Yeah. So interesting enough, I didn't really know of the term math rock until like my early years of college. So when I was younger, around like 13, 14, I discovered loads of I guess they're like Midwest emo kind of like mathy bands. I didn't really know the terminology, so I was listening to like Tiny Moving Parts, even like Periphery. They're quite like a heavier version with like mathy influences. Yeah, and I was really into this kind of stuff, and I didn't really understand like the whole Odd Times Limited thing. I didn't really know that that's what I was listening to, but I liked it. So, but I liked it. So yeah, it was great, man. So I didn't really understand that. I was kind of subconsciously like absorbing these Odd Times Limited like energies. I guess I'm not really a big guy on energies, but we'll take it as it is. Anyway, so yeah, and then I get to about 16, and someone shows me Chon, obviously. Loved it, fell in love with it. Instrumental stuff. I was like, how the fuck are they like making just guitars and drums and bass sound incredible, like no vocals? That's a skill in itself, you know, like trying to make something listenable. Because I know full well, I listen to instrumental music a lot, and I know that it can be very boring, which is something that we try to obviously steer away from. I mean, everyone does, but it's really difficult just having your memorable melody only being played on a guitar with nothing else. There's no other melody instruments. It's just guitar and drums. So anyway, yeah, so I went from Chon, then it went into like Delta Sleeve, and I was going into all these kind of different areas of the math kind of world. It's quite an extensive range of genres as well. So there was a lot to explore. But yeah, that's basically I got here, met Tom. He showed me Colour as well. I hated them at first, and then I got into them.
Did not like Colour, and then second spin, gave it a shot, and that was it. He was hooked.
That's it. Yeah, literally.
But on that instrumental side of things, there's not many bands that can do that, I don't think. Even bands that I like Totoro, were massive for me at the beginning. There's not many instrumental bands that are memorable, and I think we work incredibly hard on making sure that what Paddy does, like fuck what I do, I'm purely percussion and trying to make some parts accentuated or whatever, but Paddy is the singer, or you know, he's the Britney, Beyonce, whoever you want to look at. that person that people have to hook
Got
onto.
the looks.
We're to survive. He's the creme and so that's yes. We work majorly hard on making sure that we stick out because Paddy has to stick out. He has to be memorable. We work really hard on that being a thing.
Let's dig a little bit deeper into that. So, like, how do you kind of like appeal to a wider audience that say like wouldn't normally listen to like an instrumental band?
Oh, I know. I've got a couple of things to say about this one.
Come on, kiddo.
So I think that the main way that we appeal to people is we try and put the majority of our when we perform, we like to try and appeal to everyone. So we try and include the audience quite a lot. We'll try and include comedic elements. It's like our performances are usually like quite satirical. We're never like we're never on stage standing, rigid, just like, like I'm playing drums, I'm playing guitar. Like, it's nothing like that. Like, I'm not the cleanest player in the world. My technique is not incredible. It's not incredibly refined. I know, dude, to be honest, when I play guitar, I don't even use a pick usually. I use just my thumb like this. It's absolutely terrible. I made it work somehow. And I got to this point in my life. So no turning back now. Yeah. I mean, I would love to be able to, do the whole hybrid picking and all that kind of great stuff, but I just can't. So, yeah, we try and appeal to the majority because some of our shows will get, kind of 40-plus-year-olds or maybe people that aren't super into instrumental music, people that are kind of expecting vocals. Like we get often at shows, we'll get, who's the singer? And it's like, yeah, I've got one, mate. But, a lot of the time we'll leave people quite surprised, I think, that they actually enjoyed the show because, again, we try and keep that energy and give people some, because it's super boring. I've seen instrumental bands and I've been bored myself, and I love instrumental music. Like standing there watching someone just fucking wank on a guitar is not great. Yeah, trying to just be quite inclusive in regards to our performances is very key, I think.
It's the self-indulgent aspect that we really massively try and get away from.
Yeah, for sure. No solos, nothing like that.
Right. So there's a really super thin line, which I think we kind of teeter-totter on, is like, this is fucking complex. This is well hard, but we are making ourselves look really stupid doing it, and people are laughing, and this is fun as heck, and like we're having a great time, and so are they. That's a super thin line. Is this is hard. This is like really complex and sounds crazy, but you can clap along and laugh along and have a really great time. There's a really thin line there where I think a lot of bands do miss that mark.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Quite self-indulgent. But you go the other way with it, like Physics House Band, who are fucking amazing, but they are really like, you just watch the show like, how the heck are you doing this? Yeah. Where we're the other side, we're like still really complex and like a time signature every bar, but you're clapping along, we're making you sing, we're just having a really great time, and it's like that's kind of what we're about. It's meant to be stupid. Math rock's fucking dumb. Like
not real. It's a fake genre.
What even are genres anyway, right?
Absolutely, mate. That's a separate debate.
Yeah,
I won't go too far into that one, but I completely get where you're coming from. Like, a lot of instrumental bands get bored into kind of the stereotype that they're just musicians, right? Like it's music for musicians by musicians, and it's great that you guys are kind of exploring that kind of like other side to that and bringing that to the limelight.
The introduction to it. Have you ever heard of a band called Totoro?
I haven't actually, no.
They were a huge start for Let's Swim as a general. Me, Will, and Stokoe were like, this is the sound we're going for in terms of like where we want to begin. We sound nothing like them now, but if you listen to our first EP, you can definitely hear the influences. And check them out. It's basically like football chants. That's all it is. If you listen to it, if you go to a football game, it's like la 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 la. But the riff is like, and that's what people are singing along to, and that's what Totoro did really, really well. Is like poppy, math rocky sing-along tunes, but there's no singing, and that's where this whole idea started, and we've really stuck to it, I think.
So, like, obviously, with what's happened with COVID, it's been quite challenging for a lot of musicians. How have you guys kind of adapted to that, and what kind of struggles have you faced?
Do you want to go, Pat?
You can go if you want, mate.
No, I just spoke loads. You sure?
I'll take a bit on the. I can talk about the recording. Yeah, so we were aiming to have a lot more done by this time, I guess. We have COVID and all that kind of stuff, which took away a lot of that. had quite a lot of plans. We were actually on tour. Well, I was on tour. We had a dep drummer because Tom was away, and the coronavirus cancelled the tour. So, you know, we're stuck in where I can't remember where we were now. We were in London or something, not too far from home. But, you know, that was it. They were just like, you know what, you're not going on the rest of the 10 days of the tour. It's home time now, mate. No more. So that was, yeah, a bit of a punch in the stomach. But we made the decision to at least try and get something out during this, you know, the whole lockdown, all that stuff, even though we can't go to studios, we can't record that, all that kind of stuff. So we've got a great group of friends. We've got a really cool support network. We managed to just release a song and do a very, very low budget music video, all adhering to the guidelines and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was great. We recorded the latest single we released, I Could Probably Watch Shrek Again, was actually just I recorded it in my bedroom, and then it was sent to be reamped, and the drums were actually recorded on Logic, and they were just MIDI triggers, so they were all one shots and then put into like MIDI data and then made to sound real. So yeah, then now you know the secret's out. So yeah.
I'm not on this record. It's the Paddy experience.
Exactly. Yeah.
We were lucky that we'd written that song before, so we had those two in the bank. Well, not those two. That one in the bank. And we had that one in the bank, and so luckily I programmed the drums, and it's exactly what I played. It's exactly what I would have played. It's exactly what I will do live, like feel for feel, note for note. So it wasn't like, oh, let's button bash and make this something. It's really single. Yeah, so it was exact. So I was gutted that I wasn't on the record and couldn't be, but
you kind of were. You wrote that, you did all the work with drums.
I sat there for 8 hours and made sure they were specific and super perfect and like on the nose and like
velocities.
Lost everything. I did everything I could to make this sound exactly at Thomas Shrimpton as possible. So yeah, so I wasn't too bummed. And then we got to do the video together, so that was fun.
That was fun.
But when COVID hit, I was a freelance technician, so I had to literally move. Me and my now fiance had to leave Brighton, which didn't help with mine and Patrick's development as a band because it became a lot harder very quickly. And yeah, so that's why we every single day I think I send a little message out like, I'm sorry, we sucked for a year and didn't do anything. We love you and thank you for still being here.
Yeah.
To us, because the reaction we've had from I Could Probably Watch Shrek Again has been like way above and beyond what we thought. Like, and I think YouTube's like over 400 views in like 2 weeks or something.
And people thought the drum. Someone said, didn't they? We got a message saying, "Oh, dude, the drums sound phenomenal. Like, where did you get them recorded?" We were like,
Hey, you never know, bro.
When you get a comment like that and you program the drums, it's like, yes, I hit the nail on the head there.
Dream.
So it's weird. Really, we're just every single day so happy that people like still apparently give a shit, and that's mental because I don't know, Pat. I was so expecting like 12 views and being like,
oh yeah, for sure.
12 views, let's build off of this.
And we sold quite a lot of merch from it, and we even got like a few sales of vinyls as well from our like debut album, which is great. So people, obviously still. Some of them give a shit, which is great.
It's like I thought it was going to be a really long time to rebuild people's trust again, because like it would be really easy for us to come back with one song and sell a few t-shirts, but
and then just fuck off,
fuck off again and be like, yeah, so we made 12 quid, let's split that.
What we're
doing. So we're just super fucking happy, man. That like we're ready to do some more music together, and we've got some stuff in the bag, and probably going to announce something at the end or later on or whatever.
Probably, yeah. That way.
I might not. We're just like super stoked, man. Just constantly very happy to still be in the scene and hanging out with people.
Talk to me about like the business side of working like in the music industry, you know, because it's very hard to make a living as a musician. I think that every musician agrees on that. So talk to me a little bit about that, and like, what are your thoughts on kind of like the way music streaming's taken over? And like, what do you think is going to happen in the music industry in the future?
I'm literally writing an essay on this at the moment, which is great.
Plenty to say then.
I mean, I'm writing about. I'm not going to go too into it. You know, it's a 3,500 word essay, but I'm kind of writing about. I mean, I can read it all to you now. I've got a first draft. I don't know. It's interesting because like the digital revolution, all that kind of stuff. It's allowed for music to become more accessible, but it's like reduced the price of the music. Therefore, the artist is kind of losing less, but because they're selling to a wider audience, they're kind of making more. It's like a very strange in between. They're not really being paid enough. No one gets paid enough in the music industry unless you're like a huge artist like Justin Bieber and fucking Taylor Swift and all that shit. They get paid enough. But
we'll never make money doing what we do, and
that's the thing. And it's kind of been accepted. I don't really expect to, be making even like just a normal salary from this band. I don't think I will make, even 30 grand a year. I doubt it, but I really
be a sick wage.
30 grand is great. Yeah, I doubt it, and I think because we've both accepted that, it's taken away like a lot of the pressure of trying to be something in the industry that we know that we're not going to be, because we're not that super mainstream. It was a very niche genre for starters. Like,
but I think it's allowed to be more silly on stage and not take like there's zero seriousness about this band.
And it's the surprise when we actually get paid. We're like, oh,
yeah. Great. That goes some beer and some coffee and some fuel for the band. But like, yeah, like we worked really hard on making sure like we can survive. And behind closed doors, we are quite serious. We have a very serious band chat and have a meeting every week and try and how we can be better. But because we like, when me and him aren't trying to make we aren't trying to make 60k a year to like, this is going to pay my mortgage, this is going to pay my kids, whatever. Like let's go have some fucking fun. Let's make sure we're like not out of pocket, and if we could play for a big band meal at the end of it, that's rad. And I had a great time doing it, and so did Pad, I hope. So it's allowed us to not be serious because fuck it, who cares?
We're a joke.
We're a fucking idiot band. I hope that answered that question a bit.
Yeah, no, yeah, for sure. I think it's
feel like we
important
kind of
to have that
went away
mindset.
from
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did.
This is why we're so bad together, mate. My mind's like, whoop.
All right. I was trying to pull you back in. I could see you basically reading your essay.
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Glasses off, mate. No, legit. What? Yeah. Sorry, guys. So section 4A. Yeah. So, I mean, there's a huge discussion to be had, but neither of us have the brain capacity to have that discussion, I guess.
Okay. To be fair, guys, right? Like we're nearly out of time, so I've got like one last question for you guys. So, what is in store for the future for the band now?
Cool. Shall I roll that one?
I can roll the first little piece out, and I'll let you take over.
All right, go on then.
I'll let you reel this big old fish in. Yeah, on the 8th of May, we're hoping we will release one of our new singles, accompanied by a music video. I think I'm just going to leave you with that. I think that's very. Yeah. I like to be quite vague and leave you with that. So over to Tom.
So it is the 8th of May this year. 08-05-22 21. 21.
Nice.
2021, right? There we go. Should I say the song name? Should I do all that business?
I was going to, but yeah, okay.
Should I announce it now? I'll announce it now.
Okay.
So, Daniel, have you seen The Big Lebowski? Have you seen the film The Big Lebowski?
I haven't, no.
Oh man,
you need to watch that because the track is called The Big Lebowski is a flippin' great movie.
I love it.
Because it is. So yeah, The Big Lebowski is a flippin' great movie. That'll be out on the 8th of May with a music video. And we're going out on tour on the. I actually got this up because I forgot it. I got it wrong earlier in my own head. So we're out on tour with the Exploder again on the 27th till the 31st of August. 27th is Swindon, then Trowbridge, Bristol, Bath, and Brighton. So yeah, so we're out on tour for a nice little 5-day. We've got something really cool in November, which is another little tour with some fun friends. Yeah, that's all you know. November, fun friends.
Secrets.
And yeah, if you haven't, you need to watch The Big Lebowski because it is a flippin' great movie.
Appreciate it. I will. I'll check it out. Nice one, guys. Like, really great chatting to you.
No, Daniel,
thank you for having us, man.
Thank you, and thank you to anyone who checks us out. You've been rad.
Absolutely. Anytime. Take care, guys.
Peace and love, brother. Bye-bye.